Hello students, welcome to Learner's Planet. Let us continue with the chapter Diversity in Living Organisms. In the earlier session, I was discussing about the sub-classification of kingdom Plantae. Kingdom Plantae, it is classified on the basis of various basic characteristic features. You remember what is the criteria? It is on the basis of body differentiation, then it is on the basis of vascular system, right? Then the seed bearing capacity and whether the seeds are enclosed inside the fruit or not. This is how the plants are sub-classified into different divisions. Now, in the earlier session, I explained to you about the spore-bearing plants and the seed-bearing plants. So, spore-bearing plants are the cryptogams in which the reproductive parts are hidden or they are inconspicuous, right? And in this class or in this subkingdom, the plants are further subclassified into three divisions: thallophyta, bryophyta, and pteridophyta. I have already discussed about the thallophyta and the bryophyta. Now in today's session, I am going to discuss about the basic features of the division pteridophyta. So the plants that belong to this particular group or division, that is pteridophyta, their basic features are shown here in this flowchart. Well, this is just the summary. So let us focus on this now. The very first thing is about the body differentiation. That means the cells which are present here in these organisms, how are they organized? So they are of course showing the organ level of this organization. So in this case the body is well differentiated. The organized parts are like stem, leaves and the roots. So here the plant body is having all these parts in a well developed form, right? If you remember, it was not present in the case of thallophyta. Thallophyta, there the body is simply like thallus, or it is just like a colony, right? Further, if you come and you proceed and if you look at the features of bryophytes, you can see that body is little bit less differentiated as compared to pteridophyta. Right, over there stem is not very well developed, although it is present in the form of thallus or stalk like structure, right? And leaves are present, roots are of course they are just as hair like structures, right? And in the case of pteridophyta, all these parts are quite well developed. Fine. Next is whether the vascular system is present or not. So if I compare this vascular system, it is well developed in the pteridophyta. Vascular system which is related to the tissues or to the parts of the plant which is participating in the conduction of water, minerals, food or other items like phytohormones, right? So in this case, definitely this type of transportation takes place through the special tissues which are known as xylem and the phloem. So here in pteridophyta, these xylem and phloem tissues are well developed. Although they do not show the secondary growth, but still they are well developed, well organized so as to carry out the process of this coordination or the process of transportation, right? Next point is that these plants are also seed, these are not having the seeds, they do not bear the seeds, right? And further they are of course the non-flowering plants. So these two characteristics, they are of course common in all these cryptogams. These are the specific characteristic features for the plants which belong to the group cryptogams. Alternatively, if these characters are present in the plants, they are going to belong to the next subkingdom that is known as the phanerogams, right? Besides this, in this case, the sex organs are inconspicuous. They are present in the hidden form. Of course, in the case of pteridophyta, they are multicellular, but they are present in the hidden condition. And reproduction takes place through the spore formation. Unlike in the case of sexual reproduction in higher plants, in this case, if this fusion never leads to the formation of the seeds, or the embryo is not enclosed inside the seeds. Here, it simply takes through the spore formation. Besides this, such type of plants, they are present in the shady area. That means they are quite sensitive to the bright light, right? So of course they are generally found in the area where there is a little bit less intensity of life, where they are exposed to less light, right? And thus I am saying that these can grow well in the shady area. So further, now let me show you some of the pictures or the examples of this particular group, or the plants that belong to this group. Well, here are the some pictures. This very first picture, I hope you must have seen these plants in the garden or somewhere. Together these are known as the club mosses, and this picture is actually it is known as Lycopodium. The another category you must have heard about, that is fern, and one of the example of the fern is Bryopteris. You can see this structure here, and I hope you must have seen it, right? Then the next is Marsilia equisetum. So these are some of the common example, and besides this there are many other also. Fine. Well, now studying about these basic features of these plants, let me just compare all these three cryptogams, so that if we compare it, it will become much more clear to you, and it will be easy for you to learn the basic features of these particular groups, so that you can better score in your school or in your exams, right? So here is the table that can show you the comparison of thallophytes, bryophytes, and the pteridophytes. Thallophytes. See, the first feature I am comparing here is the habitat, that where these plants are commonly found. So thallophyta, they are found in the water bodies, right? And they are commonly known as the algae, multicellular algae. Fine. See, why I'm calling these organisms as multicellular algae? Because you can see that there is the organism in the group Monera also, that is known as blue-green algae. So do not get confused with that organism. That is the cyanobacteria. It is these blue-green algae. They are the cyanobacteria, and they are prokaryotic and the unicellular organisms. Right. So if I'm discussing about this thallophyta group, then in thallophyta, the organisms or the algae which are present here, they are actually the group of cells. The cells are they are beginning their life as a unicellular or a single cell only, and then they are developing a colony. Right. And in this group of cells, the body structures are undifferentiated. So therefore I have just mentioned the point that these are multicellular algae, right? Further, the bryophytes. The bryophytes, they are present, they are actually the most primitive plants which are found on land area. So definitely I can say that these are actually known as the amphibians of plant kingdom. The reason is that because they can survive in both the conditions. They can live in water as well as in this land. See, if you compare these organisms with the amphibians in animals, then what will you say? What are these amphibians in animal kingdom? The organisms which can survive on land as well as in the water. So here, in the case of plants, you know the particular feature that these organisms are non-motile. So they cannot complete their life cycle by moving on land and then going in water and like that, isn't it? So, but of course they require the conditions where they can find the land as well as the moisture level is high. So these are living on the land, but in those regions where there are the wet conditions, or I can say that there is a high moisture condition. So they are commonly found over there. For example, I can say like you must have seen some of the plants which are found on the riverfront, right? At the riverfront, definitely the level of water is high. The moisture level in the land area is of course high. Then in the winter, in the monsoon season, you can observe, or even on the wall, some plants are growing over there, right? They may belong to the group Bryophyta. So basically, such plants are found in the places where the wet conditions are present. Further, the pteridophyta. These pteridophytes, they are of course terrestrial, and they are found in the shady area, right? Yeah, one thing I would like to mention again for bryophyta, in this group there are some plants which are highly sensitive to dry conditions. That means although they are growing in the wet conditions, but if there is the dry condition, right, if this water level is decreasing over there in that area, these plants may die. Whereas in the other group, they are living in the wet conditions, but somehow they can tolerate the dry conditions up to an extent. So this is how they are classified further. These are the liverworts and the mosses. So liverworts, they just die in the dry conditions completely. That means they are highly sensitive to it. Whereas in the case of mosses, they can survive up to a condition. Fine, up to an extent. Further, let us move to the next feature, that is the body differentiation. In the case of thallophyta, I already stated that they are having the undifferentiated body. That means in this case, they are living as a stalk, or they are living as a colony, or as a filament, in that way. But the different parts of the plants are not organized. For example, there is no stem, there are no leaves, or the roots, or the rhizoids, or anything. Whereas in case of bryophytes, the differentiation is observed. In this case, the cells are organized in the form of stem. Now this stem is not exactly a true type. It is not of true type. They are present as a stalk-like structure which is known as thallus. Besides this, leaves are found, and mostly these leaves are thick and fleshy, a little bit fleshy. Fine. Besides this, there are the presence of rhizoids instead of true roots. See, roots are of course well developed as compared to rhizoids. These rhizoids are fibrous or hair-like structures. Right, they are the extensions. So these rhizoids, of course, they are weak as compared to the developed roots. So this is how the parts are organized in the case of bryophyta. Besides this, the organism or the plants which belong to bryophyta, it is actually having a particular height, and they never grow above the 12 centimeter. Normal range is around 2 centimeters to 8 centimeter, but exceptions are there, so they may grow up to 12 centimeters also. Fine. Then comes the pteridophyta, and in this case, now the stem, leaves and roots, they are now well developed. Next is the vascular system. Vascular system is the one which help in the transportation of material. So in the case of thallophyta, such system is absent. You can imagine it yourself. If the body is not organized, then how this vascular system will develop, isn't it? In the case of bryophyta, again this vascular system is absent. In fact, there is actually no need for it also. They are having a short height, and for that the normal procedures like absorption is sufficient so as to transfer the material from one side to the another. Besides this, these plants are having quite less differentiated body. So of course these complex tissues are not present in such structures, right? Besides that, In pteridophyta, the vascular system is of course present. By mistake, I have written this word here, absent. So I must correct it, this thing here. This vascular system is present in the group pteridophyta. And because of this reason, this xylem and phloem has developed for the first time in these particular plants, in this group. So these particular plants, that is the group pteridophyta, it is commonly known as the vascular cryptogam. So in your exam, if the question is coming in this way, that explain the vascular cryptogams, so do not get confused. You have to explain the features which are of the group pteridophyta. Alternatively, these thallophytes and bryophytes, they are known as the non-vascular cryptogams. So in your exams, question can come by using any of such type of term. So just remember and just study the things with an open mind, right? So that you know that what are the alternative terms that could be used for such type of plants. Fine. Not only this plants, any topic in the in science, right? Further, the next property is related to the reproductive parts. As all these plants are cryptogams, so in all these plants or all these three groups, the reproductive parts are present as a hidden organs. They are hidden and inconspicuous, right? But definitely the sex organs which are present, they show a different type of complexity, right? In the case of thallophyta, the sex organs are unicellular. Whereas in the case of bryophytes and pteridophytes, these particular structures, they are multicellular. That is of course in both the conditions, that is whether it is a bryophyte or pteridophyte, these sex organs are multicellular. Also in this case, the spores are developing into embryo. The fertilized egg is there, and that fertilized egg is able to develop into the embryo, as of course they have to further differentiate into body parts. And this type of development occurs in the case of bryophyta and in the case of pteridophyta. Further, they all lack seed. The seed bearing capacity is not there. So definitely, even if the seed is not there, neither in a naked condition nor enclosed inside any fruit. Right. So definitely in such plants, flowers are also not present. So these are some basic properties. Now let me just show you one more column, and in that I will show you the picture of each type. So this it is showing the example Spirogyra, which belongs to thallophyta, right? And these are obviously found in pond area or in the aquatic region, right, as a filamentous structure. Then the liverworts or marchantia. The liverworts example is marchantia. Fern is the example for pteridophyta. Example could be Dryopteris. Fine. So here this is all about the cryptogams, and further I'm going to continue in the next session, and there we will discuss about the phanerogams. So till then, thank you so much. Have a nice day. Goodbye.